check, 1 2, check, check, 1 2, check, 1 2, check, check, 1 2, check, check, 1 2, check, 1 2, 1 2, check. All right guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all well. So I thought I'd do a little update. Things have been pretty crazy recently, but I wanted to keep you all informed of what cool things have been happening in the world of Rabea. Goes without saying that I really appreciate the support that you guys show me throughout the years on this channel, and I just want to keep you guys up to date because some of you very kindly are interested in what's going on. First things first, my band Vower have been doing some gigs over the summer, some festivals. We played at 2000 Trees, played at Radar Festival just this last weekend, and we also did the 2 support shows with Carnival. So we've only done 4 gigs, but in that time we have seen such an overwhelming amount of support. People are singing along to the songs. It's like we've only had this EP out for a few weeks and people are really invested in it already, and that's just so encouraging. We've sold out of our limited edition vinyl. First edition Apricity vinyls are completely sold out, which is incredible. Of course, the limited edition merch as well. There are still a few bits left, which you can find at the link in the description box. But overall, the support has been fantastic and we are so grateful. There's some really cool things planned for the rest of this year. Obviously, we've got a few more festivals and gigs set up, including 2 headline shows. It was originally 1 headline show on the 6th of December, but it's sold out. It sold out in about 4 days, which is amazing. And I'm so excited because selling out a show this early on in the band's career is really encouraging and just feels really good. Feels like we're doing things right. So in addition to that, we added another date, which is on the 5th of December, so the day before. It's the only available date we could get for another venue, and this one is downstairs at the Dome in London at Tufnell Park. There are tickets for this gig in the description box below, so if you want to come and show your support for that show as well, be greatly appreciated. I was kind of like, we've sold out 1, should we really go for another? I mean, we've only been around a little while, there might not be that many people that know it and they're all coming to this show, but our booking agent said it was worth a shot, so we announced the 2nd show, and that is now up and online. So if you want to come to it, check the link in the description. But again, from everybody in Vower, including myself, thank you so much for all the kind words and support towards this new project. In addition to this, if you didn't already know, Vower has a YouTube channel where we're uploading playthroughs, vlogs, behind the scenes stuff of the music video shoots, and generally we're going to be putting up content there. Not the kind of content you may have seen in previous bands that I've been in, like Dorje or Tosca. It's a little more just, this is what we're up to in the moment, and yeah, it'd be a bit less kind of YouTubery, hopefully. Just stuff that's happening really. So check out that as well, link to that channel in the description box below. And of course we're on all the platforms like Instagram and everywhere like that if you want to keep up to date with everything that we're up to. That brings me on to the next thing. I have an Instagram page, and the reason I'm mentioning this on YouTube is because basically most of the kind of plain stuff that I do at the moment, whether it's just little clips, little tune ideas that I've got, I post them to Instagram because I like the kind of short form content where I can just make a quick tune. I feel it's almost like undercutting it if you put like a 1.5-minute long clip on YouTube. It feels like YouTube's more for long form content, so I'm putting those little clips on my Instagram page. So if you didn't know that, you can follow my Instagram, and most of it is me just playing guitar, me just messing around with different tones and settings and stuff like that, and having a blast and coming up with random tunes. So if you want to hear that kind of stuff, please go there. So this is a really big piece of news that I'm very excited to announce, that Grinding Gears Volume 4 official transcriptions are now released with Sheet Happens. If you didn't know who Sheet Happens Publishing are, they're an awesome company and basically transcribe all the sort of main dudes and dudettes in the world of guitar playing, and like guys like Intervals and Pliny, and I think they've done some Periphery stuff, and they just do loads and loads of awesome quality transcriptions that you can get as a physical copy or PDF, digital PDFs for your iPad. They come with guitar profiles, and we're actually offering a bundle with the Grinding Gears 4 official transcriptions where you can have some of my Dunlop signature flow pick. You get a bag of those, you get the hard copy or the digital copy, and you can basically learn all the tunes off Grinding Gears Volume 4. If you want to get a copy, check the link in the description, but I just wanted to say a huge thank you to those guys for taking me on board. And not only is Grinding Gears Volume 4 available, but the other 3 volumes are also going to be available too. But we're starting by launching Volume 4 because you've all been asking for it. You can learn songs like Just Cause, you can learn songs like Californication, and some of the other tunes that I've made on there. So I'm really, really happy. I'm very, very happy, in fact. So yeah, check the link in the description for my new tab books. Next up, of course, you're probably all aware that use Neural DSP products, that CorOS 3.0.0 is now available. You can use plugins on Quad Cortex after long last, and I'm going to be making a bunch of content. You've probably already seen there's been a lot more Neural DSP content on my channel. It's because I'm using it a lot at the minute. I'm using it a lot with Vower, I'm using it a lot in recording, and we're using it live in Vower as well. But now that plugins have come onto the Quad Cortex, soon to be my plugin coming across, I'm even more excited to get using it in lots of different applications. That does not mean for any second that I don't use tube amps, because as you know, I am a tube amp advocate. I always run tube amps where I can, especially live. Even with Vower, we're running Quad Cortex into a tube amp. And yeah, generally, that's some of the content that I want to kind of make, is to talk to you about bridging that gap. Whether you just play at home and you don't need tube amps, that's cool. But if you go to band rehearsal or you play live and you want to have that feeling and how to integrate, you know, modern technology with more classic technology like tube amps, then that's kind of my plan, is to make content that helps bridge that gap and come up with cool ways in which to use both in synergy, because that's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm finding a lot of great results doing so. So of course, there's videos of me using the new plug-in amps with real amps and talking about how I'm routing all that stuff. So if you've got any more requests, kind of content you want to see, bridging the digital and the analog domain, and please let me know in the comment section. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, that there'll be plenty more content with regards to using things like modelers with tube amps. Oh yeah, coffee. It's empty, don't worry. Next up, a little update in the world of music, man. So of course, super grateful that people are loving my artist model Sabre. I just want to let you know that I've submitted some colors for a sterling version, and I can't say much right now other than it's in process. We're looking at getting this up and running as soon as possible. Hopefully I'll receive some prototypes or some like examples of what the guitar is going to be, but there are going to be sterling models available of my Sabre. So I'm very, very excited. With any luck, we'll be able to launch these at NAMM, but I can't promise anything yet. I actually don't know if that's possible. With all that said, I'm very excited to say that we've submitted some colors, and I think you're gonna like them. And for all those that have been wanting to get one of my guitars, as I said, I appreciate that they're expensive, but they are premium USA custom shop quality guitars to the finest degree. But of course, having the sterling stuff means that there's going to be a more affordable option for you out there that want to grab one of those guitars and use it. And there's some really cool things going on with it. Like I said, we've submitted colors, and we're actually going to spec some pickups that work really well and complement the guitar in the same way that my bare knuckle silos do. As much as I'd love to put bare knuckle silos in the sterling models, that would just throw the price right up, and most of you probably complain that for a sterling it's too expensive. Part of that is the pickups, because they are hand wound in the UK, high quality boutique pickups. But what we're doing with sterling and Music Man is designing some pickups that complement the sound of the silos as much as possible, and that's going to go in the sterling model. So the whole guitar is being thought out. I really can't wait to see what we come up with and I'll keep you all informed as we go. Next up, as some of you may remember, I had a bit of an issue with my guitars traveling across to Frankfurt, having to miss a festival. I did a whole video on it using air tags to keep my guitars visible on my phone so I knew where they were, but it was very stressful. I managed to get them back, and one of the things I thought to myself during that episode was, I am so glad that for some reason I asked to borrow Joe's Scott Dixon hard case, because usually I use the mono double gig bag, and that's an amazing product, and I use mono gig bags all the time. I'm a huge advocate of the mono stuff, but I thought to myself, on that particular incident, had I have used the soft bag, I have no idea if my guitars would have come back in one piece, because as good as they are and as much protection that they've got, getting lost in an airport and then returning to me a few days later, I was very worried that they were going to turn up with broken necks, dings and scratches and all sorts of stuff, or not least the bag just being ripped to shreds, because I've had that before as well. So I took it upon myself to buy myself a flight case for my guitars, and loads of people have been recommending Quantum Industries. I've seen them online, a bunch of my friends and peers use them as well, so I thought I'd get in touch, and I managed to airship myself one of the new Quantum Industries GTX cases, one of the new ones. It wasn't the cheapest way to do it, of course, having to pay for the case and also have it flown over within a week so that I could use it for festivals, but I have to say I'm very, very impressed with the quality. So let's take a closer look at the GTX case from Quantum Industries. This is the Quantum Industries GTX case, as you can see. I think it looks sick. I love the metal panel there, Quantum Industries, just looks very badass. So these are the clips, these are the Gen 2 clips, so it's like a TRS lock, so when you're traveling around you can actually unlock this. But something about the Gen 2 case is that it's been recessed here, because apparently they were getting caught on planes and stuff, so they've recessed the locks, which is really sick. And yeah, basically you've got 3 aside, which I think is very good. It's very protected, and the case itself is like made from like a very heavy duty sort of plastic material that's been reinforced. And at first I was thinking, is that going to be strong enough? But I watched some stress tests and followed Quantum Industries online, and it looks like they've put these things through rigorous testing. So let's take a look inside the GTX Gen 2 case. So pop that over there. It's got space for 3 guitars. There's only 2 in there currently because my other one is over there. But yeah, basically it's got this really nice, solid, like super thick foam that holds them in place. The best thing about this case is that it acts as a guitar stand. So on stage, I just leave this on stage and I can turn around, grab my guitar. They're reinforced with little cables inside. And basically I can grab the guitar that I need for the song and it just sits really comfortably on stage. Something else to point out is that the footing houses guitar straps, because some of these cases get a bit wonky, the guitars get a bit wonky in the case when you try and sit it in there, but this seems to be wide enough not to do that. You also get some additional foam tiling, so depending on the height of your guitars. I've had to take some out because I use baritone and regular. But yeah, basically, really, 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 really nice. So in the lid, you can see you've got extra padding. You've got a pocket here. I use the nut sauce stuff. I've got a, what's that? Got a string winder, a Sharpie and some extra strings. And then in this one, I've got my backup in-ear monitors. I've got picks, strings, more picks. There's just loads of stuff and there's loads of space. And what's nice about the amount of things you can carry in there also, very important that I have that in there too, because I always lose my picks. But having such a big bag to hold all your stuff is great, and it fits perfectly in that gap there where the headstocks go. So the whole thing just really well thought out. The wheels on it are good, it doesn't tip over. Very, very happy. And so for all those that have been asking about how I'm running in-ears with Vower, we have upgraded and updated our in-ears system. For a long time we've been using a system that wasn't quite equipped to deal with the amount of band members and give us stereo mixes properly. So we've upgraded the whole thing. We're now running a Midas M32C 1U digital mixer, and we've also got the DL32 stage box. And I would highly recommend checking these products out if you run a band that want high quality in-ears mix. This isn't a sponsored video, it's just the gear that we're currently using. Let me take you through very quickly looking at the new IEM system we're using in Vower. So this is the new IEM system for Vower. Super happy with how this turned out. Would highly recommend checking some of this gear out. We're using the Sennheiser EW300 IEM system, which I actually got from Architects, because we know the guys in Architects, lovely dudes. So thank you Adam and Max for hooking this up and getting this sorted. But these are immense. But the star of the show right now is the Midas M32C, which is the digital rack mixer. It's 1U, so it takes up way less space than the old Allen and Heath, and it's fantastic. Midas preamps. As you can see in the back there, we've got the Midas DL32 stage box, which is great because we have enough stereo mixes for everyone in the band. Got this little drawer full of stuff, as you can see, all cables and backup bits, backup in-ear monitors, these absolute beast Klotz DI boxes, which are absolutely sick. We use these for all our tracks. These are built like tanks. You could chuck it down a flight of stairs and it would still work wonderfully, I'm assuming, but it's solid. So we have 2 of those. Got our packs in there, so we can store everything we need in that little drawer. Panel antennas in here. We've got our battery charger underneath for our IM packs, and we've got a spare Cat5 cable, Fat5. But yeah, so that's sick. And then if I fling it around, so this is the DL32 stage box. Now it's all labeled up, courtesy of Liam, did a fantastic job. But we've got 32 channels, so we can mic up everything that we need and obviously route that to our in-ears. But then we've got 16 out. So you've got 2 dual mono, but then you've got 6 stereo mixes, which is amazing. And there's 5 of us in the band, so we're all running these stereo mixes. Liam's hardwired. They run to the back of our IEM's transmitters. Basically, it gives us a beautiful stereo in-ear mix. And if James wants to split this with us so we can plug into his stage box, it's one single Cat5 cable through to this, and basically we can share the ins. No more huge amounts of looms and cabling and all this nonsense. It's literally just one Cat5 cable, so it's fantastic, way more space efficient, absolutely loving it. So these are our mic looms. These are all made by Klotz. The quality is outstanding, I have to say. Super heavy duty, and they're all labeled obviously. So we use 8. We can daisy chain if we want, but essentially we can run these from the back of the DL32 to our quad cortex or drums or whatever it is. Keep everything nice and tidy because they're all pre-loomed, as you can see. Super good quality, and they're all numbered as well. So yeah, very happy with these Klotz cables. Shout out, you make great stuff. Some more very cool news is that I've had some work done in my studio. Some of you may remember Ben Meinl, ex-drummer of Tosca, very close friend of mine, legend, had this space before me, and he'd renovated it. It's not a purpose-built studio in the sense that it's not got floating floors and it's not got all the high-quality acoustic treatment that you'd find in a professional studio. This is a renovated space, what used to be, I'm assuming, a residential property. However, the work was done, and then Ben left, I took it over, and there's a control room, a live room, and a mix room upstairs, which I film from sometimes. Basically, the wall between the control room and the live room was, to put it simply, not a very well designed. Usually in a control room, live room setup, you have 2 panes of glass, you have really thick walls, have really dense materials in the walls so that it reduces the amount of bleed from one room to another. On top of that, you usually have a floating floor so that it gets rid of the frequencies, the low-end frequencies that travel through the floor, which unfortunately we weren't able to do in here. It's all wooden floors. But anyway, the work that I had done was I reinforced the wall. I added a door and I added a pane of glass, double glazed glass, to the window. So the whole thing has been reinforced, and it's reduced the bleed from the live room to the control room significantly. Such to the point where I can actually hear what the microphones are picking up on the drums now, and I can listen to what the mics are picking up on the cabs, because before that, the bleed was so unbearable that I basically couldn't really do a great job of engineering and getting the kind of drum sounds and guitar sounds that I wanted. I was basically winging it. But now I feel I've got way more control over what the mics are picking up, and it's made such a huge difference. So let me show you the work that's been done. Of course, I'm stood in the control room right now, and like I said, it's not purpose-built studio, so there are certain things we can't really avoid, like the shape of this room, for example. It's not ideal for a mix space, but I've run Sonar Works in here, got it sounding as good as I can. I can add more treatment, but at the minute I don't have the fundage to do that, but it'd be nice to add a couple of clouds, just change the shape of the room a little bit. But let me show you what we're working with. So this is the control room setup. At the minute I've just got a base model Mac M1 Mini, And I don't need anything more powerful than that because I literally don't need to do much on this other than track audio. So the base model is fine. I'm running 2 Apollo X8P interfaces with the X4. Gives me 20 ins there, which is really nice. Need to buy my mouse pad. That's my mouse pad currently. But yeah, I've got 20 ins here of Apollo X8P and X4 unison pre's. I'm also running a Universal Audio 4710 mic preamp as well, which is super useful. And I've got the Neumann KH310s from my old studio doing the job down here. So that is the tracking rig. But as you can see, we now have 2 doors. Still need to paint this door and finish it off. But this door was always here. It's been reinforced. And this, I don't know if you can see, but it's like plasterboard and it's got an extra layer of rubber. It's a type of soundproofing plasterboard, which is really, really good. Super dense. So that's one door. And then we've got this door. It's a super solid oak door. I don't know if you can hear, but it's super solid. And that's also been lined with the soundboard on the other side. So it's extra thick, as you can see. And it's really thick. It's super heavy. So I don't know if you can see this very well, but I've got dual door seals now. So this stuff, and then in the corners we've got extra seals here. So the doors really are, there's an airtight gap here now. So when you shut it, you can hear the air suction when you open it again, which I think is very, very useful. So that's made a huge difference. On top of that, I've got a second window which has been put in, and that's floating on a type of sort of soundproof tape stuff. I forget what they call it, but it's almost like putty. So this window is floating, and we have the old window here. So basically 2 sheets of glass. It's made quite a big difference. And then you can see we've added a soundboard here and here, and then down below. So the wall is being reinforced as much as possible. We've got a second window, we've got another door, both have been reinforced, and they've got airtight seals inside, which has made a huge, huge difference. And overall, I can mic up that beast, crank it up, I can sit in there, and I can basically just hear what the mics are picking up. And we also tested Liam playing the kit the other day, and being completely honest, you can hear everything through the mics. Of course, there is bleed, there's gonna be bleed because it's not a floating floor and there's plenty of stuff that I can't avoid. But in terms of being able to hear the detail of the microphones, it's night and day from what it was before. I can have Liam wailing on the kit and I can actually hear how much top end I'm dialing into the snare mics. I can hear what the cymbals sound like, I can hear the room properly. Obviously there's low end to deal with, which I can't fully avoid, but at the same time I can hear the quality of what the kick drum sounds like and just kind of gauge the low end using EQ analyzers and stuff like that. But generally speaking, it's a massive difference and I'm super, super, super happy with the results. So I just thought I'd include that in this video to show you how the studio is coming along. On a side note, all my guitars are in the rack here. This is everything that I've got, bar one that's at home. Would you like to see my guitar collection video? Because if you would, please let me know in the comments section. So I'm trying to think of other things to update you on, but I'm struggling to think of those. So let's probably call it a day there with this video. So to summarize, Vower, very, very appreciative of all the support. We've got a second headline show on the 5th of December downstairs at the Dome. Tickets in the description box below, but thank you for selling out our debut headliner. Thank you for selling out the limited edition vinyl. We'll try and restock that for all those that still haven't got one that want one. But thank you very much for Vower. All the support's awesome. Thank you. Secondly, Sheet Happens transcriptions of Grinding Gears Volume 4. Available now. I'll put them in the description box below. Thirdly, check out Klotz Cables. Check out the Midas stuff if you're into in-ear monitoring systems and you're looking to upgrade. Highly recommend it. Fourth thing, Quantum Industries. Check out the GTX case. I actually think this is a very, very cool option for those that wanting to fly with their guitars, as it fits 3, it's got a bunch more space for all your other bits and bobs. Very, very chuffed with the quality of this case. So Quantum Industries, definitely check them out. Sterling colors have been submitted. Hopefully we'll have some more news to tell you about the new Sterling Artist Model Sabre coming maybe at NAMM January 25, but I can't guarantee. But just know that we are in the process of developing that guitar, So I can't wait to see where it leads us. Of course, CorOS 3 for Neural DSP's Quad Cortex is available now. You've got plug-in compatibility on your device. And if you want to find out all the cool tricks and tips and cool stuff that you can do, rigging and routing using real tube amps, please consider my channel, consider my content, because I'm going to be making a bunch of stuff on that as well. So it'd be really nice to see some of you there. And please give me suggestions of the kind of things you want to see with regards to that type of video. I think that's it. I think that's everything. So yeah, thank you. Thank you all for the support. Oh, that was it. No. My Instagram page. I know it seems like a shameless plug, but if you want to see regular uploads of like just guitar playing, tones and little sonic adventures, then consider following my Instagram page, because that's where I upload most of that stuff nowadays. Anyway, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That'll do. Thank you all for watching this video. Thank you for your support. That coffee is kicked in now, so the caffeine is like running through the system, but just want to say thank you. Love you all. You're amazing. Have a great day. Like, subscribe and share. I've been Rabea, and I'll see you all very soon.